So I want to look at stress in a little bit of a different way. I think in today's society, stress is so pervasive that we're so surrounded by it, we almost don't even perceive it. And then we don't understand what's the thing that finally, like what makes us break? Why do we break all of a sudden? And what is that thing and how does that even come about? So I present you with the tree of life. So this is representative of your life. And down here where the roots are in the soil, where your tree was planted, are the things, we call them antecedents, things that you don't have any control over. Here is the health of your parents. It's your birth order. It's the stress that your mom was under when she conceived you and carried you. This is, were you a twin or were you not a twin? Did your mother have poor health when she carried you? Was her nutrition on point? What was the time of year you were born and the season of the world when you were born? And what things were you exposed to? Were you a vaginal birth or a C-section? Were you born in a hospital or were you born at home? So many things here. Genetics can go here. All the things that you don't have any control over, but that is what the soil was that your tree was planted into. And then as you come up the tree and look at the branches, these are called mediators. So these are the events in your life, some small and some large, that actually shaped your tree. So here in Florida, we have hurricanes, and if you can picture a tree that had a portion that was perhaps maybe broken off, or it was knocked sideways, and then it changed the route in which the tree took for its growth, that's the kind of thing that we're talking about here. So this can include how many times you've been on antibiotics. Have you had a major surgery? How many times have you been divorced? Have you been divorced? Have you suffered great heartbreak? Have you lost someone near and dear to you? Have you lost a child? How many times have you been pregnant? How many times has that pregnancy come to fruition and you've born a child? Other things that might fall in here are car accidents or traumatic events that you've had to endure, things like that, job changes, all these different things that shape your tree and create areas where perhaps it's a little more prone to outside triggers. So triggers are like, you can picture those as like little bugs or maybe like a fungus or something like that. It's these things on the outside that are constantly like bearing down on your tree, trying to find the weak points where it can come in and affect the tree. Okay, and so these triggers, you can think of these are as simple as exposure to blue light, like how much time do you spend in front of a computer or a TV or your phone. These can be like social media input or how much you feel like you have contact, like people like always have a piece of you, or it could be things like an illness or your nutrition, stuff like that. Stuff that's just trying to find the weak points in this tree that's come about because of the great life that you've lived. Okay, and so you might look at that and then you say to yourself, well, my soil was crap. My tree's got all kinds of nooks and crannies. Like basically, I'm screwed. But I want to encourage you that if that's the stress story that you're living right now, you can change that. Just like you can bring life back to a tree that's suffering, you can bring life back to your tree by amending the soil. Just because these things are down here doesn't mean that your roots can't run deep. You can supplement, giving your body the nourishment it needs. You can give yourself solid nutrition that feeds you from the inside, feeds the roots for optimum foliage and fruit bearing. You can limit your exposure to outside triggers like environmental, like chemicals and blue light and all the things like on the outside that you can have some control over. You can limit that. So you can supplement and you can limit. You can have good sleep. You're in charge of that. You can control the time that you spend dedicated to sleep and mindfulness practice. And all of these things amend the soil so that from the bottom up, your tree has a chance at the best life.